The allegation was a bombshell that Indian agents had killed Sikh separatist leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada in June this year. But hours later, Trudeau seems to be backing off in this diplomatic spat that he himself sparked. Canada's own allies are refusing to risk their partnership with India. Canadian Prime Minister leveled the charge on Monday and an all-out diplomatic war followed. Soon after the statement, India moved to expel a top Canadian diplomat in a tit-for-tat move, after the closest allies of Canada and members of the Five Eyes intelligence sharing alliance conveyed serious concerns regarding Trudeau's allegations against the South Asian superpower. The 51-year-old leader appeared to try to calm the diplomatic clash, stating that Canada is not looking to escalate tensions or provoke India. Earlier, Trudeau announced that Canadian intelligence agencies were actively pursuing credible allegations tying New Delhi's agents to the shooting of a 45-year-old extremist, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, in British Columbia in June, in a rare such attack on the world's largest democracy. Nijjar was a wanted terrorist by the Indian government. He was killed in a targeted shooting outside the Gurudwara in Canada. Amid all this, the Canadian government has recently updated its travel advisory, asking citizens to avoid all travel to the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir due to unpredictable security situation, ramping up a confrontation between the two countries. Canada in the advisory states that there is a threat of terrorism, militancy, civil unrest and kidnapping, and warns citizens to exercise a high degree of caution. PM Trudeau's efforts to corner India diplomatically seem to have failed miserably. Canada's closest allies, including UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, French President Emmanuel Macron, and US President Joe Biden, have all refused to condemn New Delhi over this incident. Meanwhile, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese did not comment on this incident. A representative for his British counterpart claimed that the Rishi Sunak government's objective was to secure UK's trade deal with India. Meanwhile, US officials stated that they have been in contact with their Canadian counterparts and are quite concerned about the accusations. India, on the other hand, has often accused Canada of allowing a free rein to Sikh separatists, especially Nijjar. India has been particularly sensitive to Sikh protesters in Canada, with some Indian analysts saying Ottawa does not stop them because Sikhs are a politically influential group. More than 770,000 Sikhs live in Canada, accounting for around 2% of the population. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has become notorious for his seeming tolerance of pro-Khalistani activities, which are becoming more common in his country. Earlier in June, India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar hit out at Canada for allowing a float in a parade depicting the 1984 assassination of Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi by her bodyguards, perceived to be glorification of violence by Sikh separatists. Earlier this year, Sikh protesters shattered the window of India's High Commission in London and took down the Indian flag. Protesters also destroyed windows and clashed with the workers of the Indian Embassy in San Francisco. However, Canada has yet to produce evidence of any Indian participation, but if true, it would be a dramatic shift for India, whose security and intelligence services have always been prominent participants in South Asia. Last week, Canada paused talks on the proposed treaty with India, just 3 months after both said they aim to seal an initial pact this year. Canada's top exports to India in 2022 were fossil fuels and related products worth nearly $1 billion, followed by fertilizers worth nearly $748 million, and wood pulp and plant fibers worth $384 million, according to Trading Economics. India's exports to Canada during April to November 2022 were more than $2.8 billion, when major exported items including drug formulations, biochemicals, and iron and steel products.